and greetings. And Hawaii bids farewell to 40 years of frustration and failure in attempts to win statehood and joyously greets its new status as a full-fledged member of the Union, its 50th state. It's a banner occasion for the islands, which will rank as the 47th state in area, midway between New Jersey and Connecticut. The United States border is now within 3,900 miles of Tokyo. Land of the hula, of sugarcane and pineapple, with its polyglot population, brings a colorful culture as its heritage and contribution. Perhaps most important of all, Hawaiian statehood gives the lie to communist charges of American colonialism. The big day was a long time in coming, which means that much more to celebrate. In the Vatican, a special consistory is held to invest 3 new cardinals who were unable to be present at the December ceremony when 20 other princes of the church were receiving their red hats. Prostrate in homage as Pope John takes his throne are Jose Maria Cardinal Bueno y Monreal, Archbishop of Seville, and Fernando Cardinal Cento and Giuseppe Cardinal Fietta, papal nuncios to Portugal and Italy. Cardinal Fietta was ill during the historic Mass consistory. The other 2, following tradition, were there invested by the heads of state of Spain and Portugal. Each now receives the broad-brimmed red galero from the hand of the pontiff. The ceremony is completed with the papal blessing. 3 names added to the ranks of the College of Cardinals. Brief outing for Walter Reed General Hospital's most distinguished patient. Returning from a leisurely drive, Secretary of State Dulles gave newsmen a quick briefing on his hour-and-a-half jaunt. Mr. Dulles, who was 71 last month and is undergoing treatment for cancer, stopped at home to say hello to his poodle, Pepin. Unfortunately, says the Secretary of State, the dog has a slight cough. As for Mr. Dulles, no word on how his treatment is progressing, except that he feels, quote, pretty good. American missiles carry names such as Atlas, Titan, Thor. This French research rocket is dubbed Veronique. It figures. She's being readied for launching from a Sahara base, the second firing within 4 days in a program of high-atmosphere research. Veronique should properly be compared to America's own little publicized Aerobee research rocket, rather than the giant U.S. and Soviet space challengers. Trim and neatly engineered for a specific purpose, Veronique represents a complete success for the modest French program of rocket development. Each firing results in valuable data on wind and weather conditions 100 miles up. The Sahara countdown reaches 0. Vive la Veronique! She's on her way. Here's a truck that needs a road about as much as a mountain goat. When it hits an obstacle, the double-jointed vehicle just climbs over and goes on its way. The 6-wheeler was designed and built in mountain goat country, Switzerland, where its stubborn maneuverability has obvious uses. With a 6-wheel drive, it needs only 2 wheels, any 2, for traction, which makes it a handy type of transport for many kinds of terrain. Anyway, in the not-too-distant future, it may be just the thing for clambering through the craters of the moon. No matter how you look at it, coming or going, it's a rough and ready runabout. The World Amateur Hockey Championships at Prague, Czechoslovakia. The big match pits last year's champ Canada against the Soviet Six, the top challenger. Canada puts the pressure on the Russians from the outset. Russia's goalie, Nikolai Pushkov, is the best at Prague, but he can't hold off the Canadians' slashing attack. Canada scores again, the second in 12 minutes of the first period. Seven minutes before the match ends, the Russians finally get into contention. Victor Yakushev dents the cords, and the satellite rooters have something to cheer about. Time runs out with the Canadian amateurs, the Belleville McFarlands, winners 3-1 in the most important game of the series. They went on to top rank in the tourney. Still, the champ. Cincinnati versus Kansas State. Cincinnati has the ball and Don Matuszak steals it. Then camps the surprise by scoring for the Wildcats. It's the NCAA Western Region Finals at Lawrence, Kansas. Cincinnati's Bill Whitaker stealing from Matuszak now and scoring. The seesaw game is tied in the 70s when Robertson's rebounding and feeding begins to tell. The Big O's brilliant ball control and playmaking pays off for the Bearcats in the final minutes. Robertson again, the All-American, gives up a good shot for a certain goal by Landfried. Robertson scored only 24 points, but it was a star performance. Cincinnati pulls away on points as the Wildcats bog down at 75. Bearcats' winning margin is 10 points, 85-75, as the game ends with Cincinnati and the Big O headed for Louisville and the national finals.